harass going back and forth here. And the bottom lane, we let them count. Oh man, the machines are not gonna like that when our machine overlords hear that you're trying to...
Nerdy boss thing to say.
Don't know about that. Some neat things though that can occur during these drafts, and we saw this action. I'm trying to remember which team it was. I want to say... Man, I remembered it when I was upstairs in the green room, but we've got the rebound, right? Was that Nouns that did that? The rebound with the bear?
Yeah, I think they did run Marci plus 100, yeah.
Celery. Getting harassed a bit with this Marci. Trees are growing back, though.
I guess we did see a buff to Legion Commander recently. The Moment of Courage is a little bit better cooldown at level 1, 1.9 instead of 2.3 seconds. So that's a little buff to the hero. Also something that I haven't pointed out yet. Matu is playing mid this game on the Lone Druid. It is not uncommon to see Lone Druid mid. It's not uncommon to see mid-K playing carry, but typically they swap. Usually it's mid-K mid. But Lone Druid mid, super reasonable.
Ooh, I thought they were going to get him here. But no, that's definitely one of the, oh god, Boxi. You saw those little grubby hands come out there like, come here. Trying to get the toss.
Saw the clarity. The clarity was there, so they had to break it.
Settle for a tree. A bit more damage. Zai. Oh, is going in. There it is. There's the first blood. And if there, oh my god. That's gonna
ban this lane. Ban this lane, Moxie. It's so obnoxious. They're both so fast.
They're too powerful.
You use overwhelming odds, and all of a sudden, Legion Commander, who's a base movement speed of 330, by the way, is running around at like 360, just slapping heroes in the back, and gets even faster with the rebounds. So it's like you just can't run away from these guys.
It just feels like Marci's just so incredibly strong too. Just period. Like even without the Legion, but again with this combination, it's just very, very difficult. 4 minutes coming up here. Force away over here, and Boxi should be able to grab up the water rune. Zyva is taking a decent amount of harass now that he doesn't have the Marci in position. They do offset a little bit, but I'm sure they'd love to get some kills.
I mean, they've already got the Helm of Iron Will, so this disgusting dual lane is already working its magic for sure. But this is a little bit of the danger moment for Zai, where he's gotten his regen on him finally, but he's kind of low, so you've got to make sure that you don't die in this moment and make a mistake and give them back some gold advantage. But all the tree cutting they did really paid off from the laning stage. And so far, things going pretty fine for Liquid, but okay for Boom as well, and the rest of the Gladiators.
That is such a weird thing to like consider, right? When you think about the way that, you know, you think of Dota as a game and the fact that you can just go to a lane and just cut down all these trees and actually like effectively nerf the hero a bit. Like it's wild. I love it.
Yeah, I mean trees regrow, of course, but the fact that that Treant Protector wasn't able to abuse them as much at level 1 definitely makes the game a lot simpler for their laning stage and push them into this like level 2, level 3 territory where they got to abuse these two strong lane heroes. So far it's been good. 140 entries, that's incredible.
Tania? Bullied here by the wolf. Not quite enough damage though.
Nothing like getting bullied by a 280 move speed hero. But it is the reality. CM is legitimately a strong laning hero. But you can land these double Novas. Oof, that's good.
Everybody loves a double Nova daddy, but...
I don't know if I described it that way, but...
You never heard that? Boom in the mid lane though, dropping the Dream Coil is going to survive. Does have that living armor coming in clutch, but did look like he's in a sticky situation for half a moment.
It's tough, yeah. No salves for him, just tangos to stabilize his lane. Matu continues to check runes using the bear, which is a nice little advantage that you get with the Lone Druid. You don't have to buy much regen either, because the bear is just constantly healing you. So everything going well for Matu on the mid lane. Normal build so far, Phase Boots, Blightstone, into Mask of Menace. He usually skips I've seen him skip the Mask of, what's it called, Orb of Venom before, so this isn't that weird for Matu. Back in the stage lane, Mickey is at 27 last hit, so a little bit low, but seems like things will be fine for him.
I mean, it's a spend, right?
Bracer build.
This is one of those heroes that can also kind of turbo farm, as long as there's some stacks or something to be hit. Bottom lane, though, the toss back over on Sriracha. Have that mana shield online and has a celery nearby to also ensure that he stays alive and healthy. Did get Matu's courier
Close. It'd be hard to get the kill with the living armor, so the duel is not quite ready, but just focusing on lane sustain here with the Legion. Just constantly nuking Dyrachyo with his overwhelming odds to offset this lane a bit.
Top lane, got the kinetic field in place from Insania. Let's continue the harass over onto Ace. Matu is making his way through the jungle here. Looks like he's got his eyes on some of these towers. Alright, there it is. There's the duel coming in hot. That's going to be the first victory here for the Legion Commander, as you have Matu putting the pressure on the bottom lane now.
The next victory is going to be pressuring the tower. They do have the glyph on their side because Boom in the meantime has been pushing out the mid lane. Boxi TPing mid to hold that, or at least get the experience. He's got no mana though, so we won't see too much annoying stuff from him. But yeah, rotating Matu means tower pressure happens here. And that means the map is going to get constricted away for the Deucer. She TP'd home actually, didn't TP to a side lane. She's going to go back mid now. We'll see where Puck goes with this. As usually Puck would spend a little bit more time in the mid lanes. This is kind of like taking away Dyrachyo's home and now creating a tougher situation. They get the tower last hit as well, no deny there by Celery. He tried to slow down the tower dive, but was not successful. So I don't know, this laning focused draft thing, it doesn't look very safe right here, at least, with the Lone Druid getting this nice rotation and tower kill.
Puckcast is made towards the top, and they'll get the Waning Rift and a Frostbite. I'm gonna try to lock down Mickey here, and there's enough damage,
Nicely
though.
done.
That seems like
great rotation
choice coming out here from Boom.
Yeah, there's always a time in a carry's life where it's where you go jungle, and this may be it for Mickey, but unfortunately for him,
and there's the duel. There's more victory damage now over on Zai. I thought you were gonna say there's a magical time in a carry's life when he has to wander off into the jungle and pursue his own. I was like, wow, this is some real Judy Bloom level Dota stuff right now.
Push him out of the nest, under farm, doesn't have all of his feathers, and he has to go grow up beating on neutral creeps for 15 minutes so he can play Dota. Oh, he's going some weird stuff this game, actually. If you look at what Mickey's queued up, I mean, he's got 3-point Stormhammer. He's playing more of like an offlane Sven kind of. Blink Dagger into Vlad's is what he's planning to get, which is kind of cool. I think he's going to go Vlad's Shard, actually, which is kind of sick. Because if you look at the damage for the Gladiators, yeah, there's a decent amount of magic damage from Puck, Crystal Maiden, and Tree. But Lycan and Deuce are all physical, so if he gets a Vlad's and his Shard, he's pumping out 10 armor for his team before he casts Warcry. They actually just might take no damage, and it's going to make it so they don't have too many carries, right? That's a cool idea.
That is a very interesting concept here. Top lane Ace, the toss back with the foes, and there's just so many things just hitting him right now. He's going to end up falling, and looking like some of that Zoo might throw it down as well.
They clean up the Lycan summon as well, so good defense there, buys them a little time on the map. Lycan is definitely one of those heroes that's going to accelerate the game for the Gladiators, so ganking him once in a while is going to be great. Deuce's net worth is still fine. Not as high as she would like, but as she gets more and more levels here, she will transition to jungling effectively. But it kind of feels to me like all three cores on the Liquid side are having a great time, except for maybe Sven. But if he does this more utility playstyle, I'm way less worried for him. Because it's all about landing a powerful stun, and he's going to be able to do that.
Crystal Maiden wandering through. Looks like was just trying to get some vision. And wrong place, wrong time for that Crystal Maiden, unfortunately. But now, like you said, it's an interesting concept with the Sven, just getting all the armor. Because it seems like Zai's doing perfectly fine with the way that his lane and also with having the Marci there is he's building up his own damage just based off of the dual victories alone. And then, of course, you know, Matu on the Lone Druid having a great time as well, so.
Yeah, carry Lone Druid or mid Lone Druid, it just accelerates the game in a big way, similar to other power pillars.
CFS Boxi just goes running in there, toss back, there's 50 Stone Gaze. They'll go and they'll drop Static Storm. Boom, does make you a little bit careful. They don't have the lockdown quite here though for this Puck, so a little bit of damage over onto Matu's bear.
It's so easy for Boxi there with the basic pistol. Instantly removes overgrowth, but Lycan's coming in.
There's a glimpse. Lycan is bye-bye. See you later. But this is giving time for Dyrachyo to go and hit these ancient creeps. There's a big stack over there, so.
See that very briefly. The Marci was riding Disruptor, who was riding his lightning chicken. Stacked up all three of them. Just kicked him in the back of the head and said, "Run away! The Lycan's coming."
Oh, nice little dodge play here. Tofu does need to be careful, though. The rest of the squad is quickly coming over. Oh yeah, look at this. The glimpse into the suppressors. Oh, there it is.
And the damage in the bonus lifesteal on the bear. It's a very meaty 45% lifesteal for El Doge, who is now going to pressure the tower. It's still got armor from the living armor. We're looking at 3 points right here, but they're still invading with the eye. Oh
my god, this is... Okay, alright, that could work in their favor, perhaps? Does it give them enough time? Yeah, so they're not going to get dual damage off of this, but... There's the tip.
Like an ulti already got used, right? He doesn't like buying boots. Then they keep being aggressive.
Sadia?
This is the...
Oh no! It's Sadia's getting bullied by the... Oh my god. Oh well, what can you do? What can you do?
I like these like little like creep support kill combos. Like get these like aura damaging creeps to pair with the wolves. It's pretty cool. This one's gonna die probably as soon as it gets rooted.
We're talking.
Very lucky wolf. Extremely lucky wolf.
Not so lucky because he is dead, but you know. Claw gets used over on Sven as the rest of the gladiators make their way over. Marci trying to save, but not going to be able to here.
They wanted a kill. They've been a little bit dry for getting some gold advantage that way. We did see Mickey adjust his build a little bit, though. He's going to go back for Vlad's first. So treads Vlad straight into probably Blink Dagger is what will come afterwards. And Zai still gets to play really aggressive on the map, playing a little bit of that old-style Legion Commander with the Armlet. But considering how much healing she gets from Moment of Courage, she'll be able to offset some of that HP loss. At least a bit. It looks like he's not going to use Armlet the entire time.
Oh, look at them, they're hunting.
But as long as they keep playing it cool.
They know. Oh dear, they're going to cut down the tree in his own course.
This combo is so good, actually.
Stone Gaze, the glimpse back, beautifully done. Let's see, do they have anything to cancel out this TP? Yeah, they do. And chase after Dyrachyo, not expected to be surrounded by all sides, not like that. This tower going over to the side of Liquid.
Tower has fallen.
There's just so many good Marci combos, I feel like. It just combos so well, so many things, but you become the initiator for your team at level 1, basically level 2, and then it just amps up their damage really well with Sidekick. The fact that he can protect himself with Unleash makes the fights easy too. In most cases, if he gets rooted by Tree or by CM, he just instantly dispels with his ulti, and then he just can do more DPS than all the cores and fight them to the death if needed. So it's kind of still a broken hero, clearly, and we're definitely seeing the reason. It's banned in first phase in almost every series, but jumps in, throws them together, gives Zai even more lifesteal and damage using Sidekick. So Casey wasn't lifestealing enough. This is my nightmares, me thinking that I'm safe, and a Marci just jumps on me and I'm like, oh, I know what's coming.
Oh, that sounds like a good content piece. We're gonna have to talk to Slacks about that. You know, your next DHL Purge is just, you know, minding his own business, and then Slacks dressed as Marci jumps out of nowhere and just suplexes you.
It's not gonna be the red Kool-Aid guy that bursts through doors and windows. It's gonna be Marci. It's like little girl, like, oh god, no. You know what comes.
She just whistles at you.
Well, I'm just never whistling again, dude.
That's how we trigger Purge.
Or maybe I should learn to whistle her whistles and just start aggravating other people this way.
There you go. Open that mic and be that toxic person. Oh, the faith all coming out here. As they lock down Boom, can they finish him off? They're not going to get the victory damage, but they will find this opening as now Ace is forced to run away with the Zoo. As Liquid in hot pursuit here.
Middle tower is under attack.
Get a little bit of the slow tossed out from Tree. There it is. There she is. Surprise! Here we are. The sudden back. The hit there. Goes for the overgrowth. He just wants to get away, but he's gonna. All right. There we go.
Let him live.
Let him
He
live.
deserves it.
That is the Ice Frog declaring that he wants Celery to live there by presenting the ruin like that.
Close the blast doors.
Very well deserved. Matu pressuring the top tower, though, in the meantime with his Death Cell, since he's so far on top of the net worth here. so far in all these skirmishes, it just feels like Liquid has a bit of the upper hand in terms of their fights. They're coordinating really well, though. That's a lot of it.
One thing
in these like disables.
Yeah, one thing I think is really cool with the Liquid draft that I hadn't thought about earlier is the amount of like just the not placement. I'm trying to think of the correct word. Like the fact that they have this ability to change the placement of the heroes on the side of Gladiators, right? Because you've got Marci, you've got, you know, the Glimpse, you've got ways to deal with their... What's the word I'm thinking? Why can't I think of this word today?
Displacement or readjustment.
Yeah, like it...
Those all kind of work.
Yeah.
Displacement is usually people...
Because, like, you know, normally, you know, those heroes are very, very valuable. See with the Kunkka, you know, even like the Force Staff for the longest time is just such a strong item because you can force the way that your positioning. That's it. That was the word I was looking for the entire time. Like, they have ways to, like, change the positioning of Gladiators that makes it so much more difficult for them to, you know, get that advantageous sort of initiation. That's what I was looking for.
I thought you were looking for, like, a more complicated word. I don't think it was in my mind at the time either, but... Okay, yeah. The positioning adjustment stuff is really powerful, and that's definitely why Marci's so kind of busted, is because both she can mess up your positioning by a lot pairing with a stun, but also her jump distance rebound is just so incredibly high.
Yeah, but even like, you know, the Glimpse too, and also the Savage Roar, right? You've got ways to just change the way that, you know, Gladiators want to take fights, and I think that's very, very beneficial.
It is. It's very powerful for sure. Makes it harder to you get punished easier basically. So you're normally playing Dota, you're safe in your position, but then you have to worry about getting tossed back like 400 units and now and your teammates can't save you. So definitely dangerous. But they're transitioning into the Vlad's upgrade from Spanish Courier got killed, otherwise he had it. So Mecha is playing basically true off lane here, which is a fine way to do it. Kind of a cool draft adjustment.
Is there a way to like track the amount of damage that's been negated by armor and also the you know, eventually if you get race hack or something like that?
Unlikely. No.
I'm curious to like see like what those numbers could potentially look like.
I'm assuming that's a no, because it probably doesn't get tracked in the API. How much damage you get gets tracked. But
Right.
I guess in the post-game screen you can see percentage of damage.
In theory, yes, but they don't.
In theory,
okay. I just thought it'd be an interesting thing, especially with this particular type of like build on the Sven that we were looking at. Mickey?
Yeah, could be quite cool.
Smoke over on the side of Liquid. And they're just gonna reclaim this triangle area. Farm up as they go through.
Doing just fine on the Sven farm. A little bit low, but not that far behind Pucks. In the meantime, Boot's going to try to cut the creep wave. They want to keep Liquid heroes away from their towers, because clearly that is a big struggle right now. Is that Liquid's death ball is just really, really strong, especially with the lone Druid as well. And all the auras they have, and all the fighting that they're strong at. Team Gladiators just needs a dodge roll by time for the Deuce to get farmed. So once they get Scotty, she'll be in a better place. Because she'll be able to control things, especially like the bear going high ground. You can threaten a lot better with the Scotty, but she's still going to have to worry about those displacement abilities. The toss back on Marci is still going to be scary and hard to deal with.
I mean, that's one of the scary things about the Medusa too, is that she is typically, you know, one of the slower heroes to move around the map. Like, she wants to have these fights that are around her and have that positioning to her advantage, so very, very scary.
Yep. It makes her ultimate a lot more effective if she can take fights on her terms. If she doesn't have to like get glimpse back and be like, okay, well, I have to ulti now. And then what happens is Liquid just disengages. You want fights where your opponents, you initiate on your opponents, and then you pop your ulti and run in while they have to look at the template. Or they need to get stuff done in those like crucial couple seconds, and now you're preventing that from happening. That's the best way to use Deuce ultis, yeah, for sure. If you can get the best fights for your team, it is a lot safer.
And right now, definitely Liquid is just forcing them to fight them and have them react, which is not the way that this Medusa wants to be playing against. Like, yeah, look at the damage, my god.
They stand you off all the way.
Oh, no. That's always like the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple mistake, but it's a really big one. And it does plague all pros occasionally. Were they going to defend that anyways? Probably not still. In some ways, Raju's probably like, we're going to lose that fight anyways. Time to farm.
A little bit of Kobe in there.
It's back on the map, at least. Realistically, they were probably still going to lose it. So
Uh-oh.
not that bad.
Oh my god, first hit bash coming out from Bear. There's the stone gaze, Dyrachyo. Gotta get out of there in a hurry.
Okay. They get out just fine. The Glimmer Cape coming for a Disruptor now, but the pushing's not going to slow down. Certainly not. They got the Warcry duration talent as well. 11 seconds of 15 armor for their squad.
Gracious.
Very, very tanky for high grounding. It means that the tower damage is going to be significantly reduced. Not to mention they can keep up their pushing between Sidekick and Moment of Courage from Legion Commander. Legion does spot Ace. Nope, his blink on cooldown, not able to get that catch. That's just trying to offset the pushing a little bit. Might lose to Courier though. He's being a little sloppy by his eye, but it's fine.
Alright, well, smoke coming out from Gladiators. They need to get this Medusa back out there on the map. She needs to continue farming. They need to reclaim this whole area. And luckily for them, it looks like there's not a lot of vision over in the Radiant jungle currently from the Dire. There's maybe like one ward that's very forward in the bottom lane. Quick maths. Medusa would need 44 hits to get this spent currently. Good lord. Oh, the blink. Oh, boom. Just a little bit too fast. Dyrachyo doesn't have the stone gaze up though. He's gonna need some help. They're gonna need to try to protect him a little bit more. He does get the spotty. There's the mount to pick up. They'll fight through as many of these as they can, but they've lost their designated. They go for the duel. They get the call on top. Boom over onto the backside though. It's giving off some of these clicks, but it's just taking so long to be able to kill anyone here. As eventually they do manage to get their option. Celery was gonna be the next one to fall, and they'll get the kill on Tofu. Ace now. Oh, the glimpse into the cage with the BC goes. He tries to get the courier, trying to get anything that he can. The bear, no. Followed up with the storm hammer. Gonna take a little bit though for Mickey to get over here fast enough. He's running. He's trying to get there. He's closing the gap. This is all right. There it is. There's the BKB. Oh my God, the bash, the bear.
Dude, that's a good basher, I gotta say. It's a very powerful basher. First hit bash almost every time. I mean, the duel against Dusa was really not the worst for Gaimin Gladiators because she's still attacking every hero, but we just saw the difference in all of the armor that they had on the Liquid side between the Vlads. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wraith Pact was on the ground during that time as well. Dusa did okay damage, but not the most impressive. Only ended up doing 2,000 damage in that fight, despite all that auto-attacking. So the heals and the armor auras and the sidekicks and all that stuff just offsetting it really.
I mean, did you
but ultimately a great catch.
Boom was like sitting on the back lines. He got the dream coil up and he's clicking away, but he didn't do anything. He had to orb out. And they're sitting so low. That's gonna be so frustrating when you just realize you just don't have the damage to cut through everything that Liquid has.
They did have Shard on Sven there, by the way, so
yep.
Something it got added a little bit ago, and for carry Sven might be something that you just ignore, but for a different utility type of Sven makes tons of sense. You're just giving your team so much survivability. It's like everybody gets like 60% more EHP against physical damage because of this aura that he's providing before he uses Warcry. And it gets even better when he hits 20, but here's that fight once again. Here's the DPS meter. He gets gets ulted by Disruptor. Everything looks okay for him, and he's auto-attacking, but Matu's getting healed. Marci does get kind of low, but she lives. It's the neutral creep.
It's the neutral creep who gets the final hit. It's not even Gladiators that kill Marci.
Oh. It's the ancient frostbitten golem. She got with it was a time warp aura Moxie. That's really what did it.
Oh man, that feels so bad. So bad if you're a Gladiator right now. And look at this.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Machi just sends the bear in. Just gonna kick back, relax. They've got creeps in that base. He's very low commitment coming out from the side of Liquid to get that tower. It's too easy.
It's so good.
Find themselves a stone golem here. All right, Marci does get silenced over the back line, so they find Ace going for the duel. They've got plenty of people here to go and finish it off. So it's going to be more dual damage going to the side of this Legion. A kill going from Matu.
I mean, we got a Marci with a Tranquil Boots and a drum. Before she got this plate mail, she had plus 27 armor from Warcry. Like, how do you get kills as the Gladiators? It just feels so hard.
I think that's the question that the Gladiators are asking themselves is how do we kill them? How do we get them out of our base? Because look at this. They're just literally sitting there. I'm just watching the bear. Like, yeah. Off the bear stat. It's a legit strat. Aren't they forced out though? That's it here. Again, bear just chunking away. Alright, they'll manage to get one bear. He's back up though, has a summon. Damage is already done.
You got a first hit bash on that creep. Did you see that?
That is like the most valuable basher. Is it the bear that's, it's obviously, the item, but
Yeah,
the tool in the
really
hands of the bear.
I gotta say though, this draft from Liquid just looks like the improved version of the one that we saw announced use the other day, former 4 Zoomers. It just, there's so many ways to buff it up. You've got the Shard from the Lone Druid, you've got Warcry from the Sven to buff him up, they've got a Vlad's of course, you've got Marci to buff it with a sidekick or rebound, and you have the Legion Commander to buff it with press the attacks. There's like so many amplifiers on the bear that normally when it gets contested about hitting buildings, it's a little close. These are not close.
A little bit of that glimpse back here.
You gotta force the fight. They're too far behind here.
I'm not sure if Boxi necessarily wanted that, but they'll get a Stormhammer off of Mickey. Slow them down. The bear over on the back lines, though. Trying to find the opening, going after Celery here. Sven, he's a little bit separate from the rest of the team, but he's very tanky. Crystal Maiden ulti coming out from Tofu over on the side. Does manage to finish off the bear. And wait a little bit longer here. Mickey's gonna get tossed away. Oh, boom, though, finding the final hit on Mickey. And the hunt is on after Boxi. It's a pretty slippery target to go after, but oh, beautifully done here. Coming in from the Legion Commander, realizing that perhaps boom, just gone a bit too far. Doesn't quite manage to finish him off, though. So it's gonna be able to survive. It's looking like boom will. So that's a triple kill going for the side of Gaimin Gladiators on their puck.
Perfectly done. There was one big cooldown that they were exploiting there, and it was the Summon Spirit Bear one. They managed to separate 2 crucial heroes. They got the Lone Druid by himself, and they got the Sven as well. Sven not able to output as much armor to his teammates. Those 2 get killed, and then they're able to actually clean up Liquid finally. So really crucial fight there. It took a long time for the bear to die. It was slow, but that overgrowth caught 2 crucial heroes. The rest of the Liquid side couldn't approach to run through Dusa, because crucially, he hadn't even used his ulti at that point. So if they did run in trying to save them, Dusa just procs the ulti, and they're going to have to turn around right away anyway. So they basically were forced to kind of leave those 2 heroes separated, which got them the bear kill, which got them the Sven kill, which meant that the fight was over. And now if they get Aegis as well, it'd be huge. But Liquid's contesting it, or at least close to contesting it. Do they not know? Surely they know.
I think they knew. I think they didn't want to go in, though.
It's spooky, right? If you run in with your bear and your bear dies again, it's down for like a minute and a half. It would be way too scary. So what a nice timing and moment grab for the Gaimin Gladiators. This game felt pretty over to me, but killing that bear and opening up the Roche now has brought a lot of life into their side.
So is that the strategy that Gladiators needs to do? Is just, because of the fact that the Sven is giving so much extra armor and whatnot, just try to separate these fights even more, like try to make them more chaotic?
I mean, it was kind of perfect, right? Liquid was spread out. If they're all together with auras and Warcry and Wraith Pact and everything like that, it gets a little bit more straightforward. But they're kind of split, right? Like Medusa, Dyrachyo placed himself on the opposite side of the bear while the bear is being chain disabled by CM. It's actually one of the most annoying things that CM provides in the mid game. If she stays alive, the person that she's disabling just can't get out. They're just stuck there. I've had that happen before when I was playing Tidehunter offlane. CM would just follow me and keep frostbiting me and novaing me. And like, she didn't kill me, but I couldn't get into the fight the way that I wanted to. That was really annoying. And that's what CM provided and Dyrachyo's position really provided. It kept Liquid spread apart. They didn't get the value of the auras, and eventually the bear died.
Invasion going on. Ma2 finding himself the Lycan. The BKB is over on the side. Dyrachyo, okay, good stun coming into play here. Scotty's throwing everybody out. They do have the Wraith Pact in position. They'll go, the bear. They can't afford to let the bear go. Oh, they finished off the bear now. The hunt is on after Boxi. Going forward here from Boom, should be able to keep tabs over onto Marci. Follows up the Waning Rift, a couple of these little clicks. They do have some creeps in the base that they have to be aware of, but they're hunting after this Marci pretty heavily on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They've had enough of this nonsense as Wolves continue to follow. Gets the punch off, and there we go. Finally, Ace will be able to get the kill on Boxi. Zai still nearby, but they did have to send someone home to go deal with these creeps that keep going into the Gladiators' base.
Really nicely done, and they're exploiting the weakness of Lone Druid. It's the bear resummon timing. It's not going to lead to that much, though, with Boxi being the only one dead. Yeah, maybe they get some gold from the bear kill, but everybody on the Liquid side wasn't likely to fight anyways with the Aegis being up, so I don't think they're too concerned. They're still in a really good position on the Liquid side, being 2 racks up here. They just need to get everybody alive again. Resummon the bear, have that resummon be on cooldown, or at least close to off cooldown, and then they can go take a fight.
Feel a little spooky though, looking at the Medusa. Has picked up a Daedalus now, so the damage is increasing. I think they had the rapier queued up earlier too, and I think they changed their minds against that. If you look at her buy, she's looking at the butterfly.
The game state changed a lot, right?
Yeah.
Before it felt like buy a rapier,
Desperate.
the game's over. But after winning those fights and now getting Roche, it's like, okay, we're taking this to him. We're actually even on net worth. So Dusa is going to become a problem, but Liquid's working on solutions. They have the first halberd done on Sven. It's the best counter against Dusa. She never buys BKB really, so you can get her 5 seconds of disarm if you click the correct one. I wouldn't be surprised if Legion builds one as well. For now, he's planning for a shard. He also wants more armor, and then he'll go a halberd afterwards. Maybe he'll buy halberd first. We'll see.
Look at the
If they get 2 halberd, it'll be great.
If you open up the graphs, you can see the swing that occurred after the last big fight. It's huge.
Tower is under attack.
But they've kept it quite close on the Gladiator side before that point, certainly, where things got a little out of hand. And yeah, Legion's going to go straight for the halberd. Shard is just not as important here as getting another halberd against the Dusa, who's clearly the big issue.
The Gladiators sticking in there, proving that, you know, if it goes late enough, they do definitely have a good chance.
I like Boom's itemization a bit here. He went Witchblade, Kai Assange, and now he's got an overwhelming Blink. So it's not, I mean, it adds some decent nuke damage, but it's more like attack speed slow is the nice part. That's going to help them beat up against like the Bear and other heroes. Kind of interesting. Limit his attack speed, maybe win some DPS fights, that kind of thing. And just providing some movement speed slow is going to be pretty nice as well. That way when people are trying to escape from the pain that is Medusa when she's just farmed, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to get away.
Gladiators playing behind their Medusa here.
Dire's middle tower is under
They've got a
attack.
wave. Put pressure on these two. Again, they do keep pushing out this bottom area, so they have to be aware of that. They did end up losing those 2 racks earlier, basically for free. But Mickey's here. He's going to try to just slow this down a little bit. Does have the cleave damage. Ups God's strength. He's got the halberd. Boom following up, though. A little bit of that frostbite coming to play. A dream coil. Boom. Nice here. Proving a bit difficult. Okay, Mickey getting very aggressive. Forces out the Stone Gaze, though.
They're trying to split the same time. They got a glimpse back.
Glimpse back over onto the Deuce. Still has that Aegis for another 40-something seconds. They have lost a couple of the heroes here over on the side of Gladiators, because they'll find the kill on Tofu. Boom, poking around, gets kill on Boxi. Marci's there, though, just trying to fight through all of this. As over on the other side of the map, they're still chasing after this Medusa, and this Marci's just doing so much damage to kill Celery now. Monty getting chipped away here by Ace by Boom, and again, they just have not managed to quite finish off this Medusa. There's going to be buyback now coming out from Trey. Craccio, he is just so survivable. He's still at the Aegis for another 5, 4, 3. Are they going to be able to time this just right? Are they going to be actually able to get this kill and go for the duel?
Oh no!
It's too early. It's just slightly too early. Oh my god.
It was so close to right, but he instantly, the problem was that you've had this problem before, you're like, all right, time to get a last hit, but Moment of Courage had already been procced, and it's sitting there waiting. So the moment he dueled, he just instantly killed her. It wasn't like a half-second kind of thing. He just jumped the gun by a fraction of a second.
That feels so bad.
Mistake. And now go through that for 40 seconds, and now the Gladiators get to keep pushing and get some barracks.
Liquid trying to figure out how to approach. We'll throw the halberd out over onto the Dusa.
The double halberd.
Really would love Nacho to just get out of here. But yeah, that is a mistake. They're just trying to keep her away from buildings, trying to keep her away from towers. Don't go with them coming out from Boom again. He's gonna get the Dream Coil. Just to hold them into place. Nacho makes his way towards the top area. Gets the duel up over onto Boom, but they're not gonna be able to do much here. So Stone Gaze does come into play, and that's just gonna hold right. Now he's not gonna be able to do anything. He's going to get taken down for 70-something seconds. They do not have a Legion commander to go and initiate the fight in here.
I mean, they almost certainly lose 2 racks. Duracio's still up in the front, getting completely buffed up by his teammates. That's the Bear resummoned, but if it dies, it's gone for 2 whole minutes. So this is a scary moment. They've got MKB at least on the Bear.
Dire's top
Spooky stuff.
Yeah, the 2 racks. And that's a 2 racks mistake.
Do you have the
the
creeps
one
in the
that I
base
made.
again?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They do at least, but man, they're going to be kicking themselves if they lose this game from that moment, because that's really the crucial one. I liked what Liquid did to defend there. The fact that they put the Lone Druid and the Marci on the Radiant top lane to potentially cheese out the Rax was a really good attempt. But the fact that even though Matsu went out fighting and got kills, which was amazing, they had to stick around on the Dusa. That was the right choice to make, but that tiny execution mistake killing him early could have resulted in both teams losing their carry, basically, and they would have been fine. That's no problem. We're up 2 racks. Gaimin Gladiators would have gone back to farming. Liquid would have farmed. They both would have respawned. We would have had a Liquid advantage, but now losing 2 racks from that mistake, wow, so consequential.
Butterfly now completed for the Medusa. Braccio continuing to just become more and more powerful, and it's making this game a lot harder for the side of Liquid.
They do have the MKB already, though, so it's still a great item pickup on Medusa. It'll still be really useful if Sven or Legion or other heroes ever hit her, but they can just keep this bear alive. They should be okay. They've got a gem on Boxi as well, trying to control the map here.
Look at this aggression right now. They're backing off over on the side of Liquid. A lot of this is going to come down to who gets the jump on who. Don't have a whole heck of a lot of vision out there on the map now for the side of Liquid. That one over on the eye spot. They've got a little bit of vision down here in the bottom lane, but fine. Immediately using the halberd here. It's on the Medusa. Alright, gonna see if they can make a jump here. The top's back. Let's keep them with the net there. So they're going for the duel. And they're gonna just tip away. Alright, they'll finally take down Zarachio. Now Ace is on the run. As they'll use the overgrowth. Try to buy a bit more time. See Mickey, the jump forward from Boxi. He's looking to see whoever he can get his hands on, and he's going to be able to go and grab themselves the puck. So no puck here. Gonna have to spend a little time dead. 80-something seconds.
The full tear of all the buffs on El Doge, the bear. It was, I mean, that's a Dusa, and she kind of got shredded there. But they did the right thing. Boxi grabbed the right person with dispose. That's a little bit difficult to do, but he gets her. They throw her back away from her team, and they just couldn't defend her. Mantis, used disarm, so it's pretty freaking obvious, but either way, they throw everything on her, drop the duel on her. There's a huge static storm, so look at that. We even saw Celery move forward. He tried to help, but the static storm plus the dispose, it just created this no man's land where they couldn't go and cover her. So she gets killed, and she's set for 26. No buyback here.
No buyback. Mickey, very front forward here, has the Wraith pack. They're going to use the fortification. All their eyes are focused over on the spare. Shoot through the building.
So much armor on the bear. It's actually one of the insane things about this combo. It's the war cry and the shard, right? Because Lone Druid gets armor bonuses for how much armor his bear has. If you have an AoE armor situation, I think I saw Matuma Man with like plus 60 armor in that fight on this main hero. His bear had like plus 35 or something. It's kind of bonkers, actually. So that alone is making the bear like almost impossible to kill. It really is so much about Liquid just fighting together as a unit, and then they become a high damaging machine and a very synergistic defense machine too. It's a pretty cool draft, and we really saw the value in that last 2 fights.
It's going to get a lot scarier now for Gladiators because Stania has got himself a little treat here. He's picked himself up an Agnum Scepter on Disruptor.
In case it wasn't annoying enough already.
Yeah.
8 seconds of not being able to use items if he catches the Sonya. So no BKBs. Still impactful though, certainly. If you can land this on like Dusa to stop her ulti from coming out, or whatever else. BKBs. Very good against pucks, certainly, I would say. No spells, no items.
We have remote control bear now. For Lone Druid.
That's a good one. Good transition, for sure. He opted for the Witchbane on the bear. Great choice, actually, against Dusa. 4% of her maximum mana is a huge amount. And he can dispel off any of the roots that come towards him, too. Perfect neutral item this game.
I don't know. There's going to be a big fight around this Roche pit. They decide they want to go in, though. Yeah, look at this. Flirting a little bit back and forth. It's like, all right, we're in the pit. Come on. Come on in. We dare you. We dare you. There's a remote control bear. It's already doing its own thing on the side. Hiding in the tree line. Gotcha.
But Dratio's gonna go in now.
I feel it's such a bait. It's such a bait, right? Like, you see this very loud Roche, and then comes something there. It's gonna be the freezing field drop by Tope with the status storm. That'll be for items like we said. It's heading right around to the side. It's gonna be Boom though, who snatches up the Aegis, as they're just trying to put as much damage as they can over onto Dratio. They've already used the overgrowth, but everyone's just thinking, how the place is looking like a very dead Dratio. It's looking like dead Boom, and he's gonna be able to dodge away for a little bit longer. Celery over here on the side. Boom topping over to there. He's just surrounded by the enemies, but he's slippery. They have to get some sort of lockdown. Celery over on the back line. They'll find the kill on Ace, and they'll chase after these supports. Oh my god, now Tofu's gonna get stunned. It's gonna have to wait a moment because it doesn't have that ghost scepter. He's up on the ice spot, but look at these creeps right now. The creeps are just pummeling the buildings. And they find themselves Boom again here, poking around at Marci, but they gotta get home. They gotta do something. Marci is here. He's here with all the creeps and the cardies, and it just doesn't matter. GG.
That was so close, actually. It was a great go by the Gladiators to go into the Roche pit, pop the ulti there, and finish Roche. They managed to kill the bear, and they got every piece of the Roche droppings. But the tough thing, and I'm not quite sure why he did it, but Dratio did leave the Roche pit to go probably utilize his ultimate to help his team. But by doing so, he didn't get Aegis, and they basically lost the fight as soon as he had died. They committed all spells on him. He gets dueled and gets blown up. That was like the end of the game there. So maybe he needed to leave the base to go get something done to protect his allies, but I feel like he ideally should have grabbed Aegis and then continued the fight, because they had the ability to beat Liquid there, but they just need a little bit more oomph from the Medusa to do so. If they killed the bear a second time, I think they actually can win that fight and win the game. So what a good match. It was a really fun game.
It was a great game number 2. We saw a lot of swings back and forth as both of these teams, were fighting it out. But at the end of the day, Liquid, it just feels like they've kind of adapted to the patch a little bit faster than some of these other teams. They've got some fresh ideas. Again, you look at this